Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Yamuna Tiravana Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shatashi Srimad His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shatashi Srimad His Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauda Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Yamunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai New Govardhan Dham Ki Jai Jai Gauda Premanande Hari Bo. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Fourth canto, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, chapter 22, Priti Maharaja's meeting with the Kumaras. Text 9. Naiva lakshya yate loko lukan paryatatopiyan vitas sarvadusham sarva Manam yesya hetavaha Naiva lakshayate loko Lukan paryatatopiyan Ita sarvadusham sarva Atmanam yesya hetavaha Naiva lakshyate loko Lokan paryatatopiyan Yata savadisham sarva Atmanam yasya hetavaha. All right, word by word translation. Na, not. Eva, thus. Lakshate, lakshayate, can see. Lokaha, people. Lokan, all planets. Paryatataha, traveling. Api, although. Yan, whom. Yata, as much as. Sarvadisham, the super soul. Sarve, in all. Atmanam, within everyone. Ye, those. Asya, of the cosmic manifestation. Hetavaha, causes. Translation. Prithu Maharaj continued, although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you. So he's speaking to the four Kumaras. Just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although he is within everyone's heart as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the Supersoul. Purport. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Muyanti Yat Suryaha. Great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra are sometimes bewildered trying to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It so happened that when Krishna was present on this planet, Lord Brahma and King Indra also mistook him. And what to speak of great yogis or jnanis who conclude that the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is impersonal. In the same way, great personalities and Vaishnavas, like the four Kumaras, are also invisible to ordinary persons, although they are traveling all over the universe in different planetary systems. When Sanatana Goswami went to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not be recognized by Chandrasekhar Acharya. The conclusion is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, and his pure devotees, the Vaishnavas, are also traveling all over the world. But those who are under the modes of material nature cannot understand the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of this cosmic manifestation, or the Vaishnavas. It is said, therefore, that one cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead or a Vaishnava with these material eyes. One has to purify his senses and engage in the service of the Lord. Then gradually one can realize who the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who is a Vaishnava. Try. Om Jnanatipadandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karitivachalam Pangam Langate Girim Ya Kripa Tamahan Vande Shri Gurun Dinatadanam Vancha Kapadurubhishta Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gauda Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read the translation again. Prithu Maharaj continued, although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you, just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although he is within everyone's heart as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the Supersoul. It's interesting. In the next purport, Prabhupada says, just in the first line, the first line was attracting me. He said, materially, if a man is not very rich, he is not glorious. And spiritually, if a man is too attached to family life, he is also not glorious. But it says, but saintly persons are quite ready to visit the house of a poor man or a man who is attached to material family life. So he doesn't make any distinction. That's a very important point, actually. That a devotee doesn't make distinction. Oh, here's a rich man, here's a poor man, here's this, here's that. In other words, like I was hearing recently when Srila Prabhupada was in Juhu, Mumbai, he would meet very wealthy people. Like these people were extremely wealthy. Some of them, matter of fact, were some of the most wealthiest people in India. And still, Srila Prabhupada wouldn't, you could say, hold anything back. Like, in other words, he wouldn't, if he needed to, chastise somebody or, give him the sauce or, the sauce. I don't know where that came from. Does anybody know where that came from, the sauce? Where did that come from? Yeah. Chastise someone or correct somebody or tell them, the truth. He wouldn't say, oh, well, this is a rich man, so I should flatter him. Because if I flatter him, then he'll give money. He probably didn't think like that. And there was this one case where a very wealthy man came and Prabhupada was, he was getting on his case, speaking strongly. And then this rich man left. And then somebody asked, oh, Srila Prabhupada, you really got on that person's case. And Prabhupada said, well, what can I do? I mean, what am I going to do? Not tell him the truth just because he's a rich guy, rich man? So it's actually very important quality to have, that we should have, actually, too. It's not like, of course, Prabhupada would also, you could say, it's not everybody, anyways, it's a whole other topic. I'm starting to talk on tomorrow's verse, purport, but, we things need to be balanced, but, it's an important point, like, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, oh, if we remain pure in our principles, so many rich men will bow down. Means offer their obeisances, means help out, give money if needed. So in other words, he was saying that it's not that we flatter people so we could, get money or something like that. That's all. So, anyways, okay. So back to text 9. Prithu Maharaj is receiving the 4 Kumaras here, and he is glorifying them. And he's saying that you're traveling throughout the planetary systems, and people cannot know you, just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although the Supersoul is within everybody's heart. So in other words, he is saying that that to understand Krishna, or to understand a Vaishnav, or understand Krishna consciousness, is no ordinary thing. It's actually very, you could say, it could be challenging to understand. And that is due to, you could say material vision. Vision that obstructs our clarity of seeing what's before us. So the idea is that we should purify ourselves so we could see Krishna and we could see Vaishnavas. In other words, so we could understand them. So we could understand who they are, what is their purpose, and what is our, you could say, role in relation to them. Because once we understand Krishna and the Vaishnavas, and that means we actually understand more about ourselves and understand how we're supposed to relate to them. Just like in the Bhagavatam, the 11th canto, right, there's description of different levels of devotees. And depending on their level of advancement, they have a certain type of vision. So for the lowest level advancement is that the vision is, you could say, very, what is it called? Like, not broad, crippled. Very crippled, or what is it, limited, very limited. And specifically, it's limited to the temple. The vision is limited to the temple room in which the deity is standing. So the deity is God, they have that understanding or that faith. But they don't. But it's limited to that. They don't see Krishna in everybody's heart. They don't see God anywhere else. It's just in the temple. And then, then when we make a little more advancement, we'll see Krishna in everybody's heart. We'll see Krishna outside of the temple. And specifically, it says we'll try to develop our love. We'll offer all of our love or service to Krishna. And it says we'll make friends with Vaishnavas. And we will avoid the envious and preach to the innocent. So that means when we start doing those things, that means we're making advancement. So we also have to make friends with the Vaishnavas. It says we should do that. We have to make friends. So in other words, it's not just enough to try to offer all of our service to Krishna. That's not the full shloka verse. And it's not enough just to go out and preach to the innocent. It's not enough to avoid the envious, right? You could say, hey, when I'm back in the temple, I'm avoiding the envious, right? I'm advanced, right? Well, and it's, or hey, I'm back at the temple, or hey, I'm going out and preaching, right? But, okay, well, how is your relationships with the Vaishnavas? Are you developing friendship, right? So it's like a package deal. We have to, offer our service to Krishna, make friends with the Vaishnavas, avoid the envious, and preach to the innocent. And in this way, if we do all of these things together, then this means we're making advancement, or we are advanced, at least to that level. And then the Uttamadhikari, the highest devotee, they see Krishna everywhere. And they see that everybody's a devotee besides themselves. So that's a very high, inconceivable level. But a question for everyone here is that it says here when Sanatana Goswami went to see Lord Chaitanya, he could not be recognized by Chandrasekhar. So why couldn't maybe the younger devotees, if they could say, and then if they need help, why couldn't Chandrasekhar Acharya recognize Sanatana Goswami? Yes. Because he had a big beard. He looked like a Muslim. Because right, you remember how, maybe you could pass him the mic so they could hear your wonderful answer, whoever's maybe watching. I don't know if he was watching. So why couldn't Chandrasekhar Acharya recognize Sanatana Goswami?
Because he had just completed his long journey from escaping the prison. And so along his travels he grew a big, thick beard. And Lord Chaitanya said, my great devotee's outside, go get him. And then...
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya was in the house, right?
Yeah, and Chandrasekhar?
Yeah.
He went out and he said, he saw just this person, and he went back in and said, I didn't see anyone, like, and he said,
I think he went outside and
Yeah. He said there's just some Muslim mendicant out there. And
yeah. And then Lord Chaitanya went outside and embraced him. Right? But it's almost like Prabhupada is saying that Chandrasekhar, because he's referring to material vision, people cannot recognize a Vaishnava. But it's almost like Prabhupada is saying that Chandrasekhar couldn't recognize Sanatana Goswami like it was some type of spiritual vision thing. Is it?
Well, that's the context.
That's the context.
Yeah.
But it's not that Chandrasekhar, was...
Yeah, the thing is, he's using this example, not a perfect example, but because...
Here, you want to pass on the mic?
Because Sanatana's spiritual effulgence was covered by his dress, he'd been through a lot coming, and his beard, therefore he saw him externally.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't see the glory. Then he said, well, get him cleaned up, make him gentle, remember that?
Yeah.
And so he got shaved and everything, and then everyone could recognize him.
Okay. So it's not like it's like Chandrasekhar didn't have the eyes to see. I was just okay. All right, good. So the idea is that we want to move forward in being able to understand Krishna, understand Vaishnavas, who they really are. And really, when it comes down to it, it's important to understand what does it mean to be a devotee. And again, there's different levels of devotees, but really, if we really think about it, a devotee means somebody who is spontaneously attracted to Krishna, and specifically to Krishna's service. So, a non-devotee, they are spontaneously attracted to this world, the world of sense objects, gratification of senses. That's what it means to be non-devotee, to be spontaneously attracted to that. Nobody has to, convince them to gratify their senses. They very happily or, miserably do that. Whereas a devotee, they are very attracted to Krishna and Krishna's service. So if we analyze, okay, what is the temple? The temple is a place where we engage in service. There's a lot of service here. There's deity service, which means cooking and going on the altar. There's keeping the temple clean. There's going out on book distribution, which is a service for Krishna. So it's all about Krishna's service. And so the idea is that we have to develop a taste for Krishna's service, for Srila Prabhupada's service. Or else, what's the point of the temple? Or what's the point of us being in the temple? Or what's the point of us being a devotee or trying to be a devotee? The point is to engage in service. And people say, oh, life is about love. It's true. Life is about love, but what is love? Love is service. So the karmis, the materialistic people, so many names you could say, they are also think life is about love, about service, but it means service, serving themselves. Egotistical, hedonistic type of lifestyle. So we want to be spontaneously attracted to Krishna. And in this way we will know that we're actually making some advancement, that when I become attracted to Krishna, Krishna service, like Prabhupada said in the Nectar of Devotion, it says that in the beginning you wake up from Mangalarti, attend the program, you think, oh, this Mangalarti, oh God, this is, it's difficult. It's hard to do. How can I get out of it? But over time you like Mangalarti. It's not that you're don't like Mangalarti. You love Mangalarti. You can't wait to go to Mangalarti because Mangalarti is auspicious. It's good. It's nice. Transcendental. And it says that also worshipping the deities. So you think, okay, to worship the deities. But then Prabhupada says, you start making plans. Okay, I'm going to pick these flowers, this flowers. I'm going to decorate the deities like this. Decorate. So in other words, you start becoming spontaneously attracted to the service. So in other words, we have to learn how to like our service, first of all. It's like duty, okay, I have to do it. But then we have to start to like it. Okay, I like doing this. And then after liking, we have to become attached to it. We have to become attached to our service. It means, we do it because it's good and we like it and it's wonderful and it's pleasing to Krishna, and we're attached. We're attracted to it. Just as the materialists, they're attached to what they're doing, right? They're fired up. There's so many materialists who are very fired up about what they're doing in life. Just like we went to the Martin Luther King parade yesterday, and so many of these people were just like fired up. I don't know about what. It's just like they're, the people in the parade, they're, dancing and screaming and yelling and shouting about I don't know, political leaders. They're out, with the megaphones and different activist groups, and some of them were just like high school, kids, dancing to the, beat of their drums and stuff. So in other words, they're all like really enthusiastic, and they're waving and shouting and jumping, and everybody's so enthusiastic. Like some person also was passing out cards of some guy. He's, I don't know, he wants to be, mayor of L.A. or something, or some type of political figure in L.A. What is it? Yeah, but we had some. They were passing out little prasadam, and I don't think I saw a few devotees passing out books. So, and there's this guy. I don't want to be the mayor or something. He has this big claim that this present government system, they're just after the money, but I'm not after the money. And in 10 years, they want to build. They'll build 70,000 or 70,000 houses. And he's saying, I'll build 30,000 houses in 10 months. That was his claim. Anyways, but my point is the guy's really enthusiastic, passing out his card. And I was thinking that all these people here, if they just transferred that enthusiasm to Krishna consciousness, they'll be pure devotees, or advanced at least. They'd be... imagine all those people dancing if you get them in a big kirtan, It's nice. So the materialists, they're spontaneously attracted to all these things, but a devotee means they're attracted to Krishna. So we have to find a service that we can do steadily, and become attached to it. We have to find what we're meant to be doing in Krishna consciousness. Some people will cook, some people go out and preach, some people do this, some people do that. There's so many things that need to be done and that should be done, and that are important to do. So we should try to find that. What is my service? What is my contribution? Right? We have to contribute. So what is my contribution to my spiritual master? What is my contribution to my spiritual master's mission? What is my contribution to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? What is my contribution to ISKCON SanDiego or New Govardhan? What's my contribution? And that is how we become happy. Actually, we become satisfied, we become happy, we become fulfilled if we have some mission that we're engaging in, because it's a missionary movement. So that's the idea, to become attached to that. And in relation to that, there is some nice shlokas in the Sri Padyavali by Rupa Goswami. So, in relation to this, first of all, can anyone tell me the definition of a hedonist? You could look it up if you want. Yeah, dictionary definition or a definition from hedonist. Well, the different religions have different names for the non-believers. Heathens. Yeah, heathens. What are the other names? Yeah, hedonist. I'm just going off what he's saying for a minute. Heathens. The different religions have different. What are the other ones? The Christians say heathens. The Muslims call them infidels. We call them mlechas or something.
You know, did you know that the word mlecha means someone who doesn't know how to pronounce Sanskrit?
Mm.
It's understood that that person is outside the Vedic culture.
Mm.
So if you pronounce the word very nice,
Mlecha.
hedonism, the belief that pleasure or happiness
You want to put the mic?
is the most important goal in life.
Oh, okay.
Hedonism, the belief that pleasure or happiness is the most important goal in life. And one who believes that is a hedonist.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they think that pleasure or sense gratification is the ultimate goal of life. Yeah, most important goal of life. So nothing else really matters, right? Moral. It doesn't it doesn't matter if you're moral. Doesn't matter if you're just. Doesn't matter if you're good or bad. This or that. Whatever. Just the most important goal is just to somehow or other get your piece of the pie, right? It doesn't matter if you got to like knock a few people down or punch people. This and that. As long as you get your sense gratification, that's what it's about. So we don't accept that. We say the goal of life is Krishna consciousness, Krishna prem. But it's an interesting shloka here, which I'll read because it brings up hedonists, actually. So this is text 45 from the Padyavali. And I'm wondering about the meter. Ya bhukti. Okay, the first word is ya bhukti. No. Yeah. Yeah, ya bhukti. Ya bhukti lakshmir bhuvika mukhanan. Ya mukti lakshmir hridi yogi bhajam. Ya nandi lakshmir rasikendra mole. Sa kapi lilavatu madhavasya. So this is by Sri Shankar, which we don't know much about Sri Shankar, but he wrote a nice shloka here. May Lord Madhava's pastimes, so Krishna's pastimes, which bring a sense pleasure stronger than that experienced by the hedonist, a liberation more real than that felt by the yogis in their hearts, and a bliss more intense than that tasted by the most expert drinkers of nectar protect you. So he's saying, may these pastimes protect you. So he's saying that may these pastimes of Krishna protect you, but he's saying a very interesting thing is that it gives it brings a sense pleasure stronger than that experienced by the hedonists. In other words, whatever the hedonists are experiencing is, oh great, then devotees are experiencing, spiritual happiness, which completely trumps that. And liberation more real than that felt by the yogis. So this is what the yogis are after. They're after this liberation, which there is some happiness there, but the devotees, it completely, blows it out of the water. Yeah, blows it out of the water. And a more intense bliss and a bliss more intense than that is tasted by the most expert drinks of nectar. So in other words, they're saying whatever these other things have to offer, Krishna consciousness has to offer. It means the happiness is greater. So in other words, the materialists, they do not know where happiness is, although they think they do. So the next one, this is because we're talking about becoming spontaneously attracted to Krishna. Now, this has to do with... Anyways. Yeah, this is from the Padyavali. It's asvadyam. Yeah. asvadyam pramadharadachadamiva shavyam navam javapitam palaya eva drishya uttamavadu lavanya lakshmiriva prodgoyasyam chira vipra yukta vinita sandeshavan eva me Naivadyam charitam charupam anisham Shri Krishna namastute. Okay, so this is author who's unknown. So you could thank him, whoever he is. So, it says, O Lord Krishna, I pray that the remnants of your foodstuff may become as palatable this is they added an extra word here, I think. Yeah, they added for.
That the remnants of your food may become as palatable to me as a young woman's lips are to her beloved. I pray that the narration of your pastimes may become as sweet to my ears as the words of a young girl are to her beloved. I pray that the sight of your transcendental form may become as pleasing to my eyes as the beauty of a young bride is to her husband. And I pray that I may always chant your holy name with the same eagerness that the lover reads aloud a letter from his long-separated beloved.
All right, this is my translation. Similar. O Lord Krishna, I pray that the remnants of your foodstuff may become as palatable for me as a woman's lips are palatable for a materialist. I pray that the narration of your pastimes may become as sweet to my ears as the words of a young girl are sweet for a materialist. I pray that the sight of your transcendental form may become as pleasing to my eyes as the beauty of a young bride is pleasing to her husband. I pray that I may always chant your holy name in the same way a lover reads aloud a letter from his long-separated beloved. Oh, yeah? Okay. It's the same idea, more or less, is there? But the idea is that for a materialistic man, or, yeah, that they're very attached to the lips of a young woman. And this devotee is praying that I wish I could be that attached to your prasadam. And then he's saying that the narration of your pastimes, I wish they could become as sweet to my ears. So, like when we're hearing something, oh, it's very sweet, right? Oh, sometimes we hear some nice music, oh, it's so sweet to my ears. Or, the birds chirping, oh, so sweet. So that the pastimes of Krishna become as sweet as they are to a materialistic man hearing the voice of his whatever young girl. Oh, I wish so sweet, right? And then he's praying for the transcendental form, right? He's talking about the transcendental form that I wish that your transcendental form becomes as pleasing as the form of a young bride is to his groom. So they're at the wedding ceremony, right? When they're there, and the man's looking at the woman. It's like nothing else exists in the universe. It's just like nothing else exists. Oh, just form, right? Oh, nothing else exists. He's like in samadhi, right? So he's saying that I wish that this could be my experience with you, Krishna, that I just see it. Nothing else exists. So you. And I pray that may I always chant your holy name in the same way a lover reads aloud a letter from his long-separated beloved. So let's say that, I don't know, like there's a couple, and one of them goes off to God knows where, goes off to the war or something. Goes off to the war. The man goes off to the war, and then he gets a letter, right, from his beloved, from his wife. And he reads it out loud. Oh, this is just wonderful. Oh, she loves me, and cherished the letter. And I've been sending letters to somebody in prison. he's a distant family member, and he's really appreciative of the letters. That really, really. So he's saying that I wish I could hear like that, the chanting of your name. Yes, Hare Krishna, hear. So, yeah, this is, you could say this is some of the aspirations that we should have, that we become attached to Krishna in this way. Just like, anyways, you were telling me there's this young boy, and he's attached to this girl. And he apparently spent hours and hours and days writing a letter to her, a love letter. And he really tried to refine it, very nicely. And he would, I'm sure he would read it out loud, go back and forth. And I don't know if he ever delivered it, but he delivered it. He delivered the letter. So it's like that, he's like, he can't think about anything besides her. Oh, just attach. So similarly, we have to be like that with Krishna. That's the idea. And this is what the four Kumaras are. This is what Srila Prabhupada's saying, that in the purport, that, which will end now, that one has to engage in the service of Krishna, then one will understand who is Krishna, who is the Vaishnavas, by engaging in the service. Engage in the service means become more and more attached in these ways to Krishna. And then we'll understand Krishna more. Yeah. All right, so does anybody have any questions or comments? This is a wonderful book, by the way, Sri Padyavali. Very wonderful book. One of the most wonderful books. Srila Rupa Goswami, it's a bunch of shlokas. I mean, it's not, he gathered a bunch of different anthology of devotional poetry. Yeah, his nectar file. No, just shlokas.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It's got a very easy meter. Every syllable is long. How's it go? Barha pidam maula bibrad vangshi nadan atanvan nana kalpa shri sampanno gopa sri bisambita netanandam kurvan krishna tuntvad viksheta sarve kama sambhadyerat asmakam vidyasina. Anyone can memorize that? Decked with crown of peacock plumes and chanting songs with flute you sing, wearing lovely ornaments while standing in the gopis' ring. Dear most Krishna, eyes delight, if you will kindly glance our way, all our heart's desires will be fulfilled on this most blessed day.
Not blessed night, huh?
Blessed day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. I haven't heard that one for a while from you. This one's really nice too. This is text 8. It's Bhajan Mahatmya, the glory of devotional service. Vyadasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidyagarendrasya ka kubjaya kimunama rupamadikam kim tat sudamno danam vamsako vidarasya vyadavapatir ugrasya kim paurasham bhaktya tushyati kevalam chanaguner bhakti priyo madhava. So it says, this is a very wonderful shloka. You ready, Dharmaraj? Where was the hunter Dharma's piety? It's not referring to you. Dhruva's maturity. You know Dhruva Maharaj, right? Yeah. Young boy. And Gajendra's knowledge. You know who Gajendra was? Elephant, yeah. Where was Kubja's beauty? You know who Kubja was? In Krishna's pastimes? Hunchback. Krishna made her straight. Where was Sudama's wealth? Where was Vidura's noble birth? Where was Ugrasena's chivalrous strength? Lord Madhava is pleased only by devotional service and not by material qualifications. So in other words, all these, they're apparently lacking in certain material qualifications, but that doesn't matter. Krishna is pleased by devotional service. Only by devotional service, not by material qualifications.
Just take a minute. This is in a section called Meditation on Sri Krishna. I don't have somehow they got in here without the verse numbers. But this is a very nice meditation. You learn that this is our meditation. Angsalam matavama kundalalam mando nadam brulatam kinchit kunchit komaladadupatam saji pasarekshanam alolanguli pallavayamudlikama puriyantang muda mule kalpata dosti bangalalitam jaye jaganmohanam. His handsome form gracefully bending in 3 places, his beautiful earrings hanging down to his shoulders, the vines of his eyebrows slightly raised, his glance crooked, his delicate lips slightly pursed, and his flower-blossom fingers moving restlessly. Krishna happily enchants the entire world as he fills his flute with music while standing on a kalpa-vriksha tree, desire tree. In this way, one may meditate on Lord Krishna. It's the whole picture right there. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Dharma, do you have a question, a comment? Last question. Go for it, Jamal. Go for it, Jamal.
You were talking about the different. It's not loud enough. You were talking about the different levels of devotees and their vision. Ganesh's being that they see the Lord in the temple and they don't see him anywhere else. Now, nowadays there's a lot of New Agey people who say that they understand that God is everywhere. Now, albeit they're impersonalists, they don't believe in a personal form of the Lord. But could this be considered like an advanced vision, like an advanced state of
no,
a somewhat
no,
advanced state of
no. Well, it's a false claim. It's a false claim.
Can you be so sure?
Well, I'm sure, right? I'm sure. Because practically, if you try to, some people say, "Oh, I'm God," right? So, okay, fine, then hey, take off that nice necklace you got and give it to me. Because we're all one. It doesn't really matter, right? Take out your wallet, give me the money. We're all one. Larry did that with some guy, and the guy came back, crying for his necklace. Larry had to give it back to him next week at the Krishna Lounge. So it's not. So they make certain claims that there's, oh, we're all God, this and that, or I see God everywhere. A lot of times when they say God everywhere, that means everything's God. We're all God. But it's a false claim because they didn't really go through the process to come to that level. In other words, they're just claiming they're uttamadhikaris, but what's their qualification? I mean, I don't think they have it. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to remember because Prabhupada talks about that. I think in the Sri Upanishad. Something like for example, okay, if somebody says, okay, God's everywhere, and they say, I'm advanced, I see the soul everywhere, I see God everywhere, and therefore all of these restrictions that normally a spiritual practitioner would have to follow, I don't have to follow because I'm very advanced. Like in Vrindavan, for example, in Krishna's pastimes, there's certain, or even in the Bhagavatam itself, women and men are dealing with each other in a certain way, and they're not becoming influenced, like sexually. So these people, they make these claims, oh yeah, I'm very advanced, this and that, but they don't follow the restrictions for men and women, which means not loosely associating. And and they fall down from from just a base level of spiritual life, which means following the four regulative principles, right? You understand? So it's not so easy just to say, oh well, I'm advanced, but a person has to, even if someone is advanced, they'll still follow those. Like Lord Chaitanya, for example, he was supreme. He's God. He's not going to fall down for God's sake. He's not going to fall down at all. But he still followed those restrictions, very strict in his association with women. So these guys said, "Oh well, I'm very advanced, this and that, and I could go to what do you call that place? What's that place called? The Bhakti Fest, right? Whatever. I'm sure there's pious people there, good people there. You could make some devotees, this and that. But I'm going to go to Bhakti Fest, and I'm just going to embrace a bunch of women, and I'm transcendental. I don't have to follow this, right? Okay, fine, but I doubt you're going to be able to control your mind, your senses, and your lust. So that's a proof that they're falling down to the platform of lust and anger and greed constantly, all the time. That means they're not uttamadhikaris. So it's false. Yeah. In relation to that, we'll end on a sweet note. Huh? There's a sweet note. This is text 11. Yeah. So the English is, not by wearing saffron cloth, not by restricting food and other sense activities, not by living in the forest, we could say Vrindavan, not by discussing philosophy, and not by observing a vow of silence, but only by even the slightest beginning of devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, who enjoys on the pastimes of the Yamuna's wide banks, is Kamadev stopped. Kamadev stopped means this, Mr. Lust. Mr. Lust is stopped by just the slightest devotional service to Govinda. So not by all these other things. The other things may help, but really it has to be devotional service. Okay. If you see God everywhere, wash the pot. Yeah, like they say, right? I lost my heart, and like Tirthamaj said one time about the people that wear the T-shirts, and whatever, it's a nice T-shirt. I lost my heart in Vrindavan, like a nice T-shirt, nice, scent. And he said, okay, that's good, but now you should go try to lose your heart in the pots, devotional service. Okay, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.